Alright, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone who watched this video. Let me briefly introduce myself. My name is Singgih Haryo Sasongko, and I am delighted to talk to you about parenting issues on gadget era. Okay, as you can see, these are a pics of kids playing their gadgets. Okay, next slide. And the structures of my talk are divided into a few parts. First, a general statement. Second, the explanations. Third, instances related to the topic. And lastly, closing statement. And I'm gonna presenting this topic, and my presentation should take about more or less 9 minutes. And I will gladly to answer your questions after the presentations. Mean you all could ask questions on comment section below. And I'd be grateful if you all, especially you, Miss Rahma, as my English teacher, who gave me this assignment to give me critics and suggestion for having this presentation. All right, next slide. Okay, the first general statement. As you can see on the left, there are the pics of kids playing their phone. As we know, kids like to put themselves on gadget for a long time. It is said that kids now rarely seen to play outside with friends. They would love to spend their time playing video games on their gadget such as smartphone, tablet, or likely computer or laptop with games inside. Children cannot be separated from gadgets may be a big problem faced by most parents today. At first, some parents saw this as a solution to this parenting problem, but in the end, it actually caused a quite confusing problem. Okay, next slide. Okay, this is the explanation. Factors that cause children like to play on gadgets. First, inappropriate parenting. And second, related to neuroscience. As you can see, these are pics that parents playing their phone and about the neuroscience. I'm gonna tell you about the inappropriate parenting. Inappropriate parenting is the first and main factor that causes children to like playing gadgets. Many parents give gadgets to their children to make them more free to do household activities like work, socialize, and others without being disturbed. Poor understanding of parents about the impact of gadgets on humans also make it easy for parents to give gadgets to their child without remembering that the minimum age limit that is ideal for children to use gadgets. Don't forget about exemplary for reason of work or maybe socializing. Even today's parents can never be separated from their gadgets while children are great imitators. As you can see on the pics, there is parents who using their phone in front of their children. And the second causal factor is related to neuroscience, which is about what happens to brain when children use gadgets and are triggered to use them continuously. Neuroscientists say tablets, smartphones, and video games are not much different from drugs in affecting the human brain, even referred to various forms of this technology as electronic cocaine because of its addictive effects. Because children like fun things, they will continue to do it. Moreover, children do not yet have a good self-control to assess what positive and negative impacts they may experience in the future. And gadgets are designed to be used continuously and were created to make people addicted. The goal of the producer, of course, is to become the love of consumers, right? Especially bright colors, which are very attractive to children's eyes. On wallpaper image, games, autoplay button on videos, notification that will sound every time there's a new video, and the surprise factor at each level of games make children more attached to gadgets. Now, after knowing the factors that cause children to like gadgets above, it's a good it's a good idea for parents to evaluate themselves and act more wisely in giving children the opportunity to use gadgets. Okay, next slide. Reason why children love gadgets. From a lot of information, gadgets so much is because of responsive responsivity from gadgets, the nature of gadgets. Basically, children have different characteristics from adults. They tend to understand things from their own point of view. Children, especially young children, have a unique personalities which can attract the attention of other adults. Unfortunately, not a few parents who do not really understand the behavior of their children. So it can be concluded that another reason why children like gadgets so much is because gadgets can play a role in replacing their parents. For these reasons, it requires broad understanding and insight for parents in understanding the characteristic of their children so that later it will not have a bad influence on their children's development, especially in this gadget era. Okay, the next slide. Children's original traits and characteristics. First, have a great curiosity. Maybe as we know in Indonesia, we call it bocah kepo, yeah, want to know something more and more. Second, egocentric, third, lack of consideration. Fourth, concrete thinking, means concrete thinking like if the children think it is a right thing to do, they're gonna think that is right to do, even they don't know that is a right or a bad. Next, spontaneous. Six, enjoy fantasy and imagination. And the lastly, easy to get frustrated. Okay, next slide. Reasons why kids love gadgets. There are several reasons why today's children are so difficult to escape from gadgets. First, gadgets are more responsive than their parents. Yeah, as we know, the gadgets like to the notification, the games, it's responsive, not like their parents like abandon their children. Second, gadgets are more interactive than their parents. Yeah, as we know that parents don't want to be disturbed by their children, so they're not interactive with their children. They're just doing their work, socializing, or doing household, and abandon their children. And third, gadgets never get angry. Yeah, parents is a human, is a human, is a living life, is a living soul. Of course, parents could get angry, and gadgets never gets angry. And lastly, gadgets are always ready to play at any time. And you know, parents in one single day, 24 hours, cannot play with their children, their child, for every hours because they have to do their work or they have to do the household and cannot be play with their children at any time. That's why gadgets are always ready to play at any time. That's why children's more likely to like gadgets than their parents. Next. Okay, this is the closing. Okay, I think this is the end of my talk. To sum up, the role of parents on parenting issues are very important to the progress, growth, and development of their children. Gadgets actually have a lot of positivity, but if it used wrongly, it could cause negativity that affects us as a consumer, especially kids or young children that cannot understand what is good and bad for their life. Means kids or young children can be having a bad behavior because of the gadgets. So I strongly hope all parents can understand the condition and start understand their own kids. As a parents should direct and educate their children not only on academics but at first from their children are as a toddler or very young age. Children is a good imitate to their parent. So that's why set a good example, then your children going to follow you in a good way. Okay, that's all about my talks. Thank you for having me. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Ciao.